Hello, everybody. Welcome back here to our Wednesday night broadcast on Freaky Fast Broadcasting here as we got the Sim Racing Unleashed Truck Series brought to you by Budget Sim Boxes. And we had a little bit of technical difficulties getting loaded in here, guys. So thank you all for tuning in. I am Zach Cole, of course, and joining me up in the booth is Hunter Hayward. I'm going to run through this grid real quick, and then we'll get our thoughts here on what this race is going to be. Is look at this, David Neese with a great lap there in the 27, able to put himself on top of the board with a 39.9 over really the only guy to break into 39. So great lap for David Neese. Second place is going to go to Josh Jones, followed by Brad Delph there in that third position. Fourth is going to be Todd Neese. Fifth, Robbie Darnell, Nicholas Lowy starting in the sixth position. Seventh is Braden Caress, Jason Adams. They're starting eighth. Ninth is Stephen Leffler. 10th will go to Robert Cheswick. 11th is James Small. 12th will go to Gomez. 13th, Cedric Hunter. 14th, Brandon Colley. And rounding out your field in 15th is Josh Langolis, as that is our 15 truck field here tonight at Sim Racing Unleashed Truck Series. And should be a heck of a show, as really from second to ninth, there's less than a half a tenth there. So really, really close times. Thank you, Hunter, for coming up into here the booth tonight to join me, buddy. What are you thinking about this race here, this 100 lap event, and what do you expect to see?
Oh man, it's Michigan. It's a track of wonders. It's always fun to watch a race at a 2-mile track here. Like you said, top 9, top 8, all 5 or half a second within each other. That shows how strong this draft package here and how close everyone is at this track in the early run. So it'll be interesting to see everybody and how aggressive they'll be, as everyone's going to be in a tight pack as the beginning. But also, 2-mile track, it's going to be all about fuel mileage if there's a long gray flag run. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone runs out of fuel trying to go here.
Yeah, fuel mileage always a factor here, and we do have a little bit of, like we said, a little bit of technical issues here we're working out. So if you drivers out there do not see your paint schemes, we have a little bit of a trading paint issue right now, and it's just not working with us. So some of these paint schemes not showing up correctly, but hey, you never know, it might work itself out with the way sometimes the internet is. But if it doesn't, we apologize for that, but we will do our best job to keep you in line with your favorite drivers here tonight as we get ready to pace down this back straightaway and get this thing kicked off here at Michigan. And should be a pretty exciting one with these trucks here. The draft package is not as drafty as it used to be, but still is going to be pretty big packs here at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it's not as racy as that Cup package, but it's still pretty strong here, and it's pretty hard to pull away from someone unless really long into a run and people start getting spread out. So it'll be interesting to see how aggressive people will be in the run, if anyone burns up their tires and falls towards the back.
Tires will definitely matter at this 2-mile racetrack. You can burn them off very easily here at this raceway as we get ready to head to the green flag to kick off tonight's Truck Series event here at the Michigan International Speedway with David Neese leading us to the green flag. Green flag is in the air, and let's get freaky green here as we head down the Irish Spring Hills down here to turn 1. Looks like great start there between David Neese and Josh Jones side by side. Got Bradley Delph there on the bottom lane, followed by Nicholas Loby there, and then the Todd Neese in the one truck up high with Braden Caress coming through on the bottom lane.
Now, as you're going to see when people come on the backstretch, as everyone's going to stay in a pack right now, but that outside line is really going to prevail as people on that bottom line are going to try to keep up, but that run on the outside is going to be way stronger coming into the run.
Yeah, definitely. Usually a second groove is always the best here in Michigan, but you can see, look at Bradley Delph taking an early lead here in that 14 Mobil 1 machine out front here, followed by Nicholas Lowy and Stephen Leffler on the bottom, with Braden Caress giving the push to David Neese on the outside, and we're going to see these guys run side by side down to turn 1 for the lead.
You see David Neese and Bradley Delph both battling it out side by side going into the turns. David Neese trying to hold it up on the outside on that backstretch and front stretch, but you see Bradley Delph so much stronger in the corners.
Definitely so there as they go down this back straightaway. Racing side by side, Stephen Leffler now making a charge up through the field here, followed by James Small in that 61. You're seeing a lot of guys challenge here early, and 3 wide almost up front. Braden Caress goes to the bottom lane. He's able to take the lead of this race here on the bottom, starting from the 7th position. As now we look at this pack here, side by side, all the way back to the 8th position with Josh Langolis on the inside of Josh Jones, working down the back straightaway in that number 18 machine. There he goes, looking to the inside of 61. The 61 on the back bumper of the 14. A lot of close racing here early, Hunter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that 18 right now is looking like a really nice car, and that 18, sorry, I apologize, really nice truck as he's climbing through the field right now, all the way up to the 8th spot already, 7 spots up from the 7th position tonight.
Yeah, starting in that 15th position, like you said, moving up pretty quickly there. Got Cedric Hunter also behind, started from that 13th position up to the 9th. So he's already made his way up 4 spots. And it's going to be a comers and goes race. So this is a place where you can race pretty hard early like this pack we're seeing. And be pretty much side by side the whole run until these tires start to wear. And then you're going to see these guys spread out, I believe, a good bit.
Yeah, definitely. As you see some cars dropping back, staying more patient. Josh Jones dropping back around 6 spots, knowing he's going to try to save his stuff. Or maybe he's got an issue right now. You see Todd Neese also falling back, but biggest climbers right now, Nicholas Lobby and Braden Caress, 5 spots up, and they're both side by side trying to get to that lead.
Yes, they are. Nicholas Lobby holding on to that lead. They're getting pushed by Braden Caress down to turn 1. Now you have the 18 fighting his way up here in that number 18 machine. Josh Langolis, look at him make a move down here as he's trying to follow James Small through the hole as they race side by side down the back straight. Also got Cedric Hunter in that 13 or that number 11 there behind him, trying to work his way up.
And definitely, and that 18 still isn't holding back. He's up the 5th spot already. He's not looking like he's holding back, as he's almost climbing again, trying to get to that 14 now and go around him. Looks like that 18 truck is really trying to get that front spot.
Yeah, the 14 definitely, making his way there as he led a few laps now back to 4th. But you got the 8, like you said, making his way through, trying to work the very bottom lane here, 114 as they go off of turn 2. This is the battle for that 4th position. As you got Cedric Hunter side by side back there with Steven Leffler as they go down the back straight. Looks like he's going to prevail, clear himself on the 72 as they go down to turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and like I said, that 18 is really climbing, but so is that 11. They're both now holding back, and they're trying to get up to those 2 front spots as fast as they can. Maybe they're just trying to conserve it, but that draft might be so strong that they're just climbing like it's nothing and not trying to burn up the stuff as well. Braden Caress trying to pull away, but like you said, this draft package here is too strong. I think it's going to be like follow the leader here.
Yeah, at least for the next 20 laps, I believe these guys are not going to be able to get away from each other. I think it's going to take upwards of 30 maybe before you start seeing a guy maybe start to pull away. Is this, like you said, the draft package, these higher downforce trucks with the lower horsepower, it equates to this almost super speedway racing type deal. It's kind of a slingshot type racing as you see Nicholas Lobby on the outside getting passed by the 18 Josh Langolis. Here comes I believe that is the 14 there under the 13 there to move himself up. He's got Cedric Hunter pushing him down the back straightaway or front straightaway here in the 11 machine, trying to move himself up. As I know from experience, Cedric is usually pretty good at Michigan. He's one of the teammates. He really likes this racetrack, so wouldn't be surprised to see him keep moving himself forward.
Yeah, you see 61 gotten on the wall, and last lap the 13 got on the wall. And that's what made that 18 truck good all the way up to the 2nd spot already, as Braden Caress now kind of has a cushion between everyone else, as the 13 and the 61 both right hit the ball early on in this race.
Early on, some little bit of issues for a few of these guys. James Small, like you said, into the wall. Also the 13, Nicholas Lobby, now they battle back here for the 7th and 8th position.
Yeah, and you can see right side damage on both the 13 and the 61. Now at a draft dependent track like this one, I think that damage might have an impact, and they might start falling back. As you see someone spinning right now, I cannot tell who that was, but it'll bring out the first caution of the night.
Yes, it is. That looks like that was between the number 18 and Cedric Hunter and the 11. So Josh Langolis there, and it looked like one of those types of deal where it just wrong place at the wrong time, and the 2 guys fighting for that same area on the racetrack here. As we got our first caution here at the Michigan International Speedway. As some reason we are not getting triggered by that, as we're having a little bit of technical issues tonight. We're not sure what is going on here. We cannot seem to find the replay there, but man, that is definitely an issue there between the 18 and the 11, as the 18 sent it in one track, and the 11 was just kind of there as the 18 slipped the track and right to the back of the 18. No harm, no foul though. The 18 really just kind of a little spin down in the apron and didn't hit nothing. Really, the only thing is hurting the tires.
Yeah, definitely just one of those quote unquote racing incidents, you would say. There's two drivers looking for the same spot at the wrong time. Tough break for that 11 and that 18 early on in this race, but we still got a long way to go. So that 18 looked aggressive and he looked strong. So maybe that 18 will be back up in front in just a couple of laps.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't, he drove from 15th to 12th. I mean 15th all the way up to second, so would
Oh,
not be
they might have
surprised.
some paints coming in here.
Oh, it looks like they are flashing white. So we might see that
And we might see some paints. No, not yet.
as the 76 Josh Jones will lead him down the pit road with Cedric Hunter, the 70 to Stephen Leffler, the 61 to James Small, all coming down pit road with Braden Caress. It looks like Bradley Delph, David Neese, Todd Neese, Robert Cheswick, Josh Langolis, and Robbie Darnell staying out.
Yeah, Zach, and I know we're having issues with paints right now, but honestly, all these paints still look good out in the track right now. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, some of the iRacing base paint scenes can be pretty darn good. So,
Yeah.
uh, even though, hey, all that matters is we got your number. We can see that number on the side of that truck. We can tell which one it is. And unfortunately, like you said, we couldn't get the trading paints here, but we're trying to figure it out. And this, and yes, Robert, producer, yes, our trading paints. Oh yeah, my trading paints.
Yes, yeah, my turn paints are also working.
Oh, we're 11 laps in, Hunter. This race, like I said, could be a fuel mileage race. We had 3 sets of tires in the pits. I wonder if most of the guys came down there and just got fuel.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe some drivers coming in to fix some damage too. Is that 18 truck? It's up to sixth already as he stayed out with others, even though he's gonna have damage and his tires aren't gonna be as strong as others. So it'll be interesting to see what that 18 truck does later in this run with no tires and same fuel as everybody else. But yeah, like you said, if we can still get a long green flag run here, I think we can see some fuel mileage gambles and some drivers running it dry and some drivers maybe going in there, some maybe taking tires, and you might see them flying up to the front pretty early because 10 tires at a track like this is feeling like Superman. So maybe some drivers just topped it off with fuel, but we'll see if drivers took new tires, they'll be flying up to the front early on.
It'll be fun to watch just as we get ready to head back to the green here at the Michigan International Speedway. See how it all shakes out now. So we got a few laps on tires here, about 10 laps of green laps, and it should be fun to watch now.
Yeah, and even though that 18 spun, it does not look like he has any damage on that truck. So maybe he just lucked out and just got
Yeah.
a little bit clipped and net coated and just spun out a little bit. But
Yeah,
maybe right now.
it did spin out. Yeah, or he did spin out. He didn't hit none though, luckily.
Oh, okay. I thought that 11 truck turned him or something and caused a big wreck, but luckily it was only the 18 car that went around.
Yep, only the 18 going around there, and a lot of room on the apron here too at Michigan. So, pretty good place to spin, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're getting ready to head back green now here as these guys pace around the Michigan International Speedway. It's a very long pace lap right here, I gotta say too. So
Yeah, it feels like Talladega.
yeah, it definitely does. As these guys enter the restart zone with the pace car pulling down. Braden Crest going to be leading us back to the green flag here. As the green is out side by side here, Bradley Delph, good restart there, followed by Braden Crest. David Neese in that second lead, Todd Neese in fourth. Look at Robert Cheswick up to fifth now too. So good runs here for the start of a lot of guys. See what happens here as we get ready to head down to turn one.
Yeah, and as you see on this restart, Braden Crest really likes to, or sorry, not Braden Crest, David Neese really liked to, and I think it was also Braden Crest, really like to go way down on that yellow line and hug that line, and that's not really the ideal racing line here at Michigan. That, as you see, people like to see that middle groove right there, kind of like a New Hampshire style racetrack. They don't like getting down on that yellow line and hugging it, as it can get them too loose. As you see Chiswick really liking it right now, but Yeah, as you see, most trucks are usually going to file out and like that middle groove more than any other groove around this racetrack.
Yeah, that middle groove, just with the progressive banking on this racetrack, that is the preferred groove. That bottom lane, just not enough banking. As look at this, almost four wide racing here with the 18, the one, multiple trucks here in this battle. So really interesting to see this already going on this early here with the 76 pushing the 18 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and as of right now, I think it was that 18 has just had his tires hurt too much that instead of passing people, he's got to hold people off. Is 4 wide we see right here going in the front stretch, but looks like
Wow.
that 18 is falling back because of tire wear, and we still have it 3 wide going into turn one. This will be a sketchy scene to see as that 18, yeah, is just falling back.
Yeah, if there's a place you want to go three wide, I guess it's here though. This place you can pretty much go five wide here, but that would be very scary. This place is super wide, a lot of room to race, and that's why we can see these three wide, four wide moments pretty occasionally.
It's Michigan, or like what I like to say, the Talladega without restrictor plates. I love that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this place is a beast, man. Used to be one of the fastest tracks on the circuit. Unfortunately, not as much anymore, but man, it's still one heck of a show. As Braden Crest still hanging on to this lead here as we go down into turn one.
Yeah, and you see some of these trucks right now, like Paulie really likes to get on that high groove and then come a little bit down in that middle groove. As maybe right now he's just kind of saving his stuff and staying back and trying to get around people. As that 18 is just really falling off. Looks like his tire wear from that spin is just not looking good for him.
Yeah, he's doing an alright job there. Kali able to get around him, move himself up into that seventh position. There as now Steven Leffler even gonna go to the inside of the 18, that 72 machine. So definitely some interesting things to see here early on as these guys moving back and forth all over this racetrack, searching for the grip.
Yeah, and you see people are starting to get a little bit more spread out than as if it was a pack here, but people are still kind of starting to single file out as probably trying to get around this 44, but just blinking a little bit. But yeah, it looks like Caress is just trying to get away from this 14 truck and trying to pull away and extend his lead.
Trying to do his best to extend that lead. Very hard to do though. This racetrack, it's just one of those places where it's very tough to just pull away from that draft. You get such a big suck up from behind, and the straightaways are so long that draft is able to really pull you right back in.
It's very true. It's very true. In the short run, it is impossible to pull away from someone. In the longer run, if you save your stuff, you can easily pull away from someone. So Michigan really is a wonder. And as you see as you see Robbie Darnell getting on the wall and make people check up there. As that 18 starting to gain a little bit more spots. But yeah, like you said, this is a very interesting track in the short and long run.
Very interesting track. Yes, it is, Hunter. It can be very tough to because you just seem like you never can get away. So it's mentally draining, in my opinion. Is now look at Langolis. He's again making his move back forward on the outside lane here, able to get right in behind Todd Neese, almost getting the back of that one. Did a good job of staying out of the back. As that pack's racing really hard there. Brandon Colley's gonna slide up in front of Langolis now down the back straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like Langolis was just saving his stuff a little bit because he's trying to get back up to the front again as he's really being aggressive on that rear bumper, that 2 truck.
Being very aggressive here. Look at 72 and Leffler coming into the picture now too. He's looking pretty strong as he always does. As they go training down the front straightaway here.
Now it looks like that top 3 top 3 pack of people of Josh Jones, Bradley Delph, and Braden Caress are pulling away a little bit. Maybe they're just pushing each other as David Neese is starting to get a gap between both of them. Maybe some people are saving their stuff more. Maybe people are just trying to pull away the best they can at this track.
Yeah, you try your best to do it. It looks like if you can get a little group together, you can kind of do it. As Braden Caress up the hill. That was Josh Jones. Now 3 wide for the lead, guys. Look at Bradley Delph, the 18 or the 14 going to the very bottom lane as Josh Jones loses the run down the straightaway. Bradley Delph will go to the inside with Braden Caress on his outside.
And you can see Caress likes to run that higher that higher end of that middle groove there is Bradley Delph trying to hug himself on that lower groove. See Braden Cresser a little bit of a block down in the 14 and come back up on the high side. You see he likes that higher lane and then he comes back down into that middle groove. As that usually is the preferred line to come back down into it to carry the most speed into the corner and the most speed out of the corner. Especially at a track that's very drop dependent, you're trying to get the most speed to run away from drivers the most.
Trying to do his best. Crest has fought him off so far, just not been able to get by that 91. He's been a pretty good leader so far in this race.
Yeah, definitely. And in these next couple of laps, you're going to start seeing drivers maybe pull away from each other as they're starting to get gaps between each other. Especially in this much longer run, you will see drivers pull away from each other for a while. And like you said, a lot of drivers came down and topped them off. So you're going to see those. If we get a long green flag run here, as it looks like people are starting to be more polite, not as aggressive anymore. So it looks like a green flag run is starting to form in. But like you mentioned, some people went and pitted and topped it off. So you're going to see them out in the track a little bit longer than these top 7, top 8 drivers right now, trying to just they prefer track position more than staying out in the track more and keeping that first spot when the first car comes out.
Yeah, Brandon Colley now moving his way past David Neese there and Todd Neese to get up into that 4th position. Now Stephen Leffler going to look to the inside. Hello?
Yeah, I got you, Zach. Don't worry.
Oh, I have lost connection to the server.
You've lost connection.
Yes, Yep, I just got kicked out, but I'll be back, guys. So,
okay, so
call it, Hunter.
so sorry about that, folks. We have Zach disconnected from the server. I know y'all can't hear him right now, but yeah, as you see, Braden Caress trying to pull a gap a little bit away from someone, but Bradley Delph and Josh Jones shutting the door on him and saying, "No, sir, I will not let you pass." You see Braden Caress just can't really do anything here. It's a very draft-dependent track. As you see that pack now, the drivers who pitted starting to catch up to this top 3. So maybe they did take tires, or maybe they were just saving it a little bit more than these leaders. You see Bradley Delph now coming on that inside line on Braden Caress, but like we said, that outside line is just a little bit stronger in those straightaways as he carries more speed off the corner. And here comes Colley. Colley already up to the back bumper of Josh Jones. And he started from the back as he pitted in, but yeah, it looks like that group of Colley, Leffler, and Cedric Hunter right there, just they must have saved their stuff a little bit more as they're catching him, and now they're trying to pass him already.
And I'm getting back into the server, but I can't see the Discord. So, yeah, look at Colley there. Like, so with Cedric Hunter working together there on the bottom lane, trying to get past this outside lane with Josh Jones. Looks like Colley's going to go out for that 2nd position. Now they're up to those 2 leaders up there, Bradley Delph and Braden Caress, as this 11 and 2 continue to surge, and even Leffler coming with him in the 72.
Yeah, and you see that 14 now powering by with that 2 truck. That 2 truck really pushing them to that lead as that 2 and 11 are looking really strong right now, trying to get to that front as quick as they can.
Trying their best to get to the front here, get to that lead, but it's been side by side with Brad there and Braden. They've been doing a great job running side by side, kind of nowhere to go for Colley. And look at Colley now go to the middle. Oh, look through the middle, go back to the inside. What a move from Brandon Colley to get to the inside here. Can he make it work?
Crossover move.
Corner.
Yeah, and he's going to make it stick as he goes down, and now he's going to pull a little bit of a slide job on that 14 and try to get that outside line as he kind of left his little draft-mate as he does come back down and let that 11. And he's throwing a block as now you see Bradley Delph saying no, sir, as he comes back down on him, and now that 11's going to give him a push going to the corner.
Wow, what racing here early. Michigan, 27 laps in. This just shows you how hard it is to get away from your competition. Is the front 9 here all under a blanket.
Yeah, and as you see that front 9 right about here, but they've now pulled away from the back. As Robert mentioned, 3 wide for the lead right here. Cedric Hunter not holding anything back is now Colley and Cedric, the 2 strongest cars, now with the 14 and a little bit of a gap right here is down the middle. Is now they have the assist, but now Cedric Hunter all by himself in that bottom as you're going to see him fall back.
Yeah, that bomb lane is not where you want to be. You're going to lose all that momentum. Look at the 72 left. We're coming from the top, getting the push from Caress. He looks like he's going to slide up in
Do
front
a
of
little
Kali.
slide job.
Yep, can Kali
What a
turn
move
the
by
corner?
Leffler.
Ooh, Kali to the rear bumper almost to the set of the 72. Already some wild racing going on here so far here at 29 laps into this race.
Now, Zach, one thing I also noticed is that drivers sometimes here, when they want to carry a little bit more speed and pull away from someone to break the draft, is on that front stretch, they like to go down on that apron and break a little bit of draft or speed. Is Coley almost got on the wall there to throw a 3 wide. As that was a close call right there. But yeah, drivers really like to go down on that apron and try to break some draft and gain some more speed on the competitors behind him.
Yeah, you also break that draft. Not only that, but you also can cut that distance there by going down there. The only problem is if you have someone up top getting a push to someone else, they can push around your top. And if you open up that outside lane, we've already seen how strong the outside lane is. It kind of leaves you vulnerable for that pass going off the two.
Yeah, and as you notice, things are starting to get a little bit single filed out, and people are starting to pull away from each other a little bit. As you see, this front 4 or 5 cars or trucks are kind of single file. Oh, we got a caution here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it looks like the 14 spun. And same thing with Langlois.
The 18, yeah. I was wanting to go back here on the freaky fast replay and check it out. Look at this. Ooh, the 14 into the left rear corner panel of that 18. Then they kind of just get hooked together and they both go for a wild ride straight head first to the wall. And that's going to destroy both of those trucks' engines.
Yeah, that was a hard lick. The 18's day is not looking too pretty right now. I think he does still have his quick fix and a new set of tires, but yeah, right now this beginning of this race is not looking too pretty for this 18 truck.
Not looking too pretty at all. I'll have to see if he can use that, if he'll use that fast repair, which he will have to if he continues on that 18 truck. Now the question is, do you pit here and take tires?
That is the question right now. But as a 30 lap out of only a 100 lap race, since they have 4 sets of tires to take, I would take the gamble since we're past 1/4 through the race, so I would take it. I mean, this is just a set of scruffs right now, and yeah, if I was a driver on this track right now, I'd definitely take 4 sets of tires and 2 cans of Sunoco fuel. As you're gonna see a lot of drivers do that. Maybe some drivers only take fuel, but they'll definitely fall like a rock. As maybe they just have different strategies and they might anticipate more cautions tonight. But as you see, almost everybody entering pit road.
Yeah, I think you're going to see these guys definitely get 4 tires here. Like
Did
you
you see
said,
Todd Nee stayed out? He didn't do anything. He stayed out. Yeah.
Or if he's trying to lead a lap and he'll come back.
Yeah.
As we are on pit road at the moment, and man, 4 tires and fuel here for most of these guys, I believe. And like you said, Hunter, it's past a quarter of the way through this race. Might as well go ahead and get that second set on there. So now they have 2 sets left in the pits. So we still got plenty of tires left for the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely. And then right now, that's only the second caution of the race. I think drivers are starting to get the memo of how this race is going to go. Is not many cautions, probably more green flag runs. Is maybe this might be the last caution we see tonight. So maybe drivers might still take it careful and try to keep their tires safe and stay up front and just let it run dry until they need to pit again. Because this is definitely still a multiple stop race right now, and it'll be interesting to see what drivers do.
It will be very, very interesting, my friend, as we are under our second caution, like you alluded to, and yeah, it's gonna be a wild finish from here. I mean, they raced the whole 30 laps bunched up together. Didn't seem like you could ever get away from each other and go wild. Is actually, while we're under caution here, let's bring up somebody and see what they think about this race so far.
Let's bring up Leffler.
All right, you want to talk to him?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we'll bring Mr. Stephen Leffler up here and see what his thoughts are early on this race. And here is the 72 with Stephen Leffler.
Hey, Stephen, Hunter up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Go ahead.
So, very interesting start to this race today. I know it was pretty aggressive as that front, around 5-6 cars, really aggressive trying to get to that front Tell me what it was like driving around on that pack in these trucks.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty stable. So as long as you can keep it under control by yourself, cars around you should have no problem. So I just hung back a little bit for the first 15 or 20 laps and just let everyone else run their tires off. So that'll be the strategy here in the next 30 laps or so as well. So we'll let them run their tires off. My tires weren't actually bad at all on that last run. I finished up with the right front of 76%. So definitely could have drove it harder. I'll probably try and do another 30 to 35 lap stint again, but hopefully no one's listening and getting my strategy. But that'll be the plan going forward. We'll see what the cautions do if we have cautions. I hope not. Hope it runs green, but we'll see.
All right. Well, we heard it from here. The 72 truck looking pretty confident right now, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later this race. Good luck, Steven.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
All right. Good interview there, Hunter. That was the 72 of Stephen Leffler. As we're about to get ready to go back green red flag racing, boys, with Brandon Colley leading us second, third, Stephen Leffler. As we get ready to head back green flag racing, the pace car is in. Brandon Colley in that 2 machine is leading us to that green flag. And there it is, green flag in the air. Colley down the front straightaway. Here taking a good restart there to actually pull a little bit of a gap there on Leffler and Josh Jones. So it looks like he should clear going down here into 1. With Josh Jones fighting hard with Braden Crest pushing him around the top. Oh, it gets tight off the exit 2 there. The 76 fights to the outside. And Colley can't really hold him off there, as that outside line very, very strong, as you alluded to tonight.
Yeah, it's more like a Daytona style, and that's usually what it is at tracks with this package. Or any package really. Just the better run you get on that corner is more in that outside line, and that outside line will prevail on the front and back stretches. Unless you have a lot of cars pushing on that lower line more than that outside line, you're going to see that inside line kind of eke out more in front of them. But right now, that outside line is looking really strong.
Very strong for the outside line as Josh Jones was able to take that lead with the help of Braden Crest. Braden Crest very quick to start these runs for sure. And he actually kept his speed pretty well throughout the rest of the run too. So that 91 is going to be tough to deal with here all night.
Yeah, it definitely is. Braden Crest, we haven't seen him get a win this year, and maybe he's holding back and he's saying, you know what, no, I've had enough and I really want to get a win this year. And right now he's really proven it. He's almost led this entire race and he's looking really strong tonight.
Very, very strong. As they go down to turn 1, they're looking at 61 of Jace Wall. Nicholas Lobe, what a move for him on the bottom lane in 13. He went flying up the inside. Now he's side by side with Cedric Hunter and Brandon Colley, as Colley, Leffler, and Hunter up in the top lane trying to push each other past. It's 13.
Yeah, as you see, that 2 and 11 really like working with each other tonight. When you look on these replays, you're going to see them pushing each other all the way through this track, and until they're up front, then they start battling. But yeah, they really like climbing their way up here.
Climbing their way through the field. Very fun to watch here early, as we're 37 laps into this main event. Oh, actually, we got some contact in the back. The 18 of Bradley Delph in the, or 18 of Josh Angolis and the 14 of Bradley Delph there involved in that. Yeah,
it looks like they've already gotten wrecked into each other, and it looks like that 18 car is not happy with what happened with that 14, and right now looks like they're both upset with each other, and looks like both of them had contact, and looks like their race is over.
Yeah, I just, go back and look at that, Hunter. I don't want to say what I think happened there, but definitely not the prettiest moment there for sure.
Yeah, and I don't have a replay up right now, but did it look like there was a little bit of tempers going on between that 18 and 14 truck?
It definitely looked like something flared over there from the last incident, so definitely not what you want to see. Unfortunate there, but looks like Bradley Delph is going to be on pit road out of this race due to that.
Tempers do flare at racetracks, especially super speedways, but it would mostly be short tracks, and tempers flare everywhere, and it looks like that 18 got a little bit ahead of himself and got with the 14 truck. But good racing so far up front. Is Braden Chris still in the lead, holding Josh Jones off, and that two of Cauley and Cedric Hunter still just staying behind them, trying to maybe let them burn up their stuff and go around them like they did last run.
Trying to do their best here as they all ride in tow behind Braden Caress. That's definitely a good strategy. You can let someone tow you around here too. That's the big thing. You can sit here, ride behind a person, and just kind of save by just letting that draft pull you back in that gap down the straightaways.
And as you mentioned, one of the quickest laps of the race right now is towards not the drivers in the front, but the drivers in the back with such a strong tow they get with that draft. And the fastest lap Braden Caress had was 39.8, and the fastest lap of the race was Robert Chiswick or maybe James Small, drivers towards the middle of the pack with 39.6s and 39.7s. It shows how strong that draft is here at this track.
Very, very strong draft. That's for sure, my friend. It's very key and vital to how you do in this race. Is now Cedric Hunter falling back here. You got the 13 Nicholas Lobey, the 61 James Small, the 72 Stephen Leffler. Looks like everybody up there riding in that higher straightaway lane, just trying to use that draft. As here goes Lobey with the move to the inside of the 11. Power his way by here as he goes through the center of the corner. Looks like the outside lane though, just too strong. You just really you got to clear on the entry and slide up if you want to be able to make that pass, in my opinion. Now Josh Jones going for the lead on the 91. I don't know if he'll be able to make it, but he's going all the way to the yellow line. Josh Jones at a 76. Powering by the 91, actually going to make it work. So new leader of the race.
Yeah, that 76 not holding anything back. Is I think Caress is going to try to get back with him and say, no, sir, that's my lead. These two trucks have really been battling it out tonight. We're almost halfway through, and yeah, I think that 91 and 76 are looking really strong tonight.
Very strong, yes, they are. Let's now look at Lobey getting to the outside of Cedric Hunter. That's where Lobey
wants. And look, we got our paints back.
Oh, we do. They're here. The paint.
They're here. Yeah.
Man,
as Robert's relieved to hear that his paints and his computers are finally working with them. But I mean, either way, they still looked really good on the track. But yeah, as you mentioned, that 76 and 91 and that 2 really look strong tonight as they're up front and starting to pull away from the pack a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting to see so far. Here is the 11. They're getting passed by the 13. But yeah, nice to see the paint schemes back on the race trucks. As you can see the nice pink paint scheme there from Cedric, and also the 72 of Leffler, his classic paint scheme there. So that's awesome to see these guys get their schemes back on their trucks, and we can really decipher who they are.
Yeah, and Zach, I don't know if you noticed, but it's weird to say, but I think Josh Jones is pulling away a little bit. Is a 44 or a 40.4 Josh Jones ran in a 40.5 Braden Press ran, but now it's a 40.59 for Josh Jones and 40.52 for Braden Press. So maybe he's just taking him back a little bit and just staying with his draft and trying to get that 76 burn up his tires a little bit.
Definitely says now 11 is Cedric Hunter getting battle with Nicholas Lobey here as they go down the back straightaway. This battle's been hot this whole time as the 3 up front starting to break away a little bit. It's definitely gonna you can't let them get too far away if you want to stay with them guys. But Leffler now there behind too. He definitely came on near the end of that last run, so glad to see if he can continue that.
Yeah, you see the gap between first and fourth now. It's about a second and a tenth. We're starting to get a little bit into a run, a little bit quicker than I expected. Only about 13 laps into the run, but yeah, as you see gaps only between that top 2 sticking with each other, but Cauley around 7/10 behind Caress. So it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers are going to be like. Some drivers saving it, or some drivers really pushing it. And now they're just getting the gap between them. But like you said, short run you can't pull away from anybody. In this long run, you really get space between people. So it's interesting to see all these different strategies thrown in the air at this track.
Yeah, and it seems like Braden Crest has kind of took the option to just let me just push the 76 to see if we can pull away, as they've started to build somewhat of a gap there on Brandon Colley. We got to see if they can keep their tires together as this run goes on. But right now, pretty much a single file line all the way back to 12th.
Yeah, and maybe I know Cedric is really good at being patient and saving his tires, so maybe that's what Cedric Hunter is doing. Is he likes to stick with the 72 right now, as the 72 pushes him. But yeah, it looks like nice and patient is the way to go for Cedric Hunter.
Yeah, that's usually his strat, man. He just can never find that short run speed, but he has that long run speed, so he relies on that. As you see there, he was pushing that 13 down the straightaway there, trying to do his best to get them back up in this race for the lead.
And definitely, as you see that 11 not trying to get around that 13, he's just pushing him, trying to gain more time with them. As you see now, Cedric Hunter was a second back, as now you see him try to get around that 13 truck and see what that 72 does. They like that outside line, but yeah, Cedric Hunter looks like he's just trying to catch the leaders, not trying to burn up his stuff, but just stay in that draft and catch up with the leaders.
It just seems so tough to pass on the bottom. You really got to just send it in there and clear that person if you want to make that pass. And Cedric having a tough time doing it. Looks like he might actually clear Lobie here. Yes, he does finally clear that 13 off the exit of 2, putting himself up to the 4th position. But I tell you what, it's heating up at front now, too, as Brandon Colley now. And Braden Cressy will take the lead back from Josh Jones. Brandon Colley, though, to the back bumper of Josh Jones. And these guys are starting to reel in our top 2 leaders as they were actually starting to pull away.
Yeah, and I mean, not only did that happen, or not only did Caress overtake Jones, but he immediately took around a 2/10 lead between Jones. It looks like Jones kind of let him by, and I think Jones is trying to play it safe like what Caress did and try to save his stuff a little bit, as we still just about to hit halfway of this race. We still got 15 more laps to go here, and they don't know what's coming. They don't know if a long run is coming or not, but you see that 2 truck really shoving this 76. As you see now Cedric coming in and pulling up that 72, as he's also pushing that 13 in there.
Wow, look at this battle. Here's the 13, the 11, the 2, the 76, the 91, the 72, not too far behind. Also, Todd Neese not too far also behind either. This battle is heating up. Cedric Hunter pushing Colley down the front straightaway. They're going to be side by side with Josh Jones as they go to 1.
Now, don't let out, Nicholas Lobie ran almost 3/4 tenths faster, and same with Todd Neese than the leaders. As that shows how strong that draft is here and how strong it is when you push someone down this backstretch here.
Yeah, Cedric Hunter really trying to push Brandon Colley by Josh Jones there, as it was very close between the 2 and the 76. I'm telling you, you couldn't put a piece of paper between them guys. They were lucky there was no network issues there, as now they're coming down the front straightaway. Cedric Hunter got a pretty good run, but he's going to go to the back bumper of the 2 and shove him down the straightaway here and see if they can make headway on these top 2.
Now, Zach, as you noticed, Braden Caress had around a 2.5 tenth lead coming into that front stretch, and now they cut it down to less than a tenth there. That shows how strong that draft is on that front and back stretch. I mean, the long run is coming soon, but it's still kind of showing how strong that draft is in that short run. And I know I'm saying that word draft a lot because that's what Michigan is known for as right now with this package, is draft.
Oh, as Colley shuts the door on the 76 to Josh Jones. Oh, Cedric makes a basic maneuver thinking the 76 was going to get to the middle there. But Colley able to make that move and slide up into that lane. Now Cedric Hunter kind of hung out to dry there on that bottom lane.
Yeah, as you see Cedric all by himself, but that middle lane is a preferred line. I'm sorry, but more cars really like to go up in that outside line, and they're all pushing each other in that outside line, so they're getting a better runoff than Cedric in that preferred groove. Is, like I said, that word draft. I know I feel like I'm saying that word too much, but it's just so strong here, and it's impressive how strong it is here.
It's that #1 factor here when you come to Michigan. As you see, I think Brandon Colley there trying to pull Cedric Hunter with him. You see him pulling down to that lane. That shows you how vital that draft is. Cedric's definitely probably asking, hey, give me that draft, man. I need this. He's going to make this passes. He's continuing to be on the inside of Josh Jones, but it's just so hard to pass, it seems like. If you're up there in that top lane, you just get such a good run off being pulled by that draft. As we should be. It'd be interesting when they pit too, because was, we had a caution with a little bit over 30 laps on these tires. So that's less than 70. You're looking at probably, 30 to go, I'd say. You're going to see a lot of these guys pit.
Yeah, and now it's just around a group of 5 drivers right now. All just in contention right now is, I'm not sure. I think the pit window is around 34 laps here with these trucks, and around lap 68-ish, 65 to around 70, we'll see drivers coming down pit road. But that draft here is so strong that we might see drivers pitting in the 70s and all that. So it'll be interesting to see when drivers pit, but it's kind of like Daytona. When you pit, you got to pit with someone else because this draft is so strong here.
You definitely do. As Brandon Colley was able to take the lead from the 91, but the 91 fighting back to the inside. Pretty good run off 4. See if he can get past Brandon Colley as they go down to 1 and 2 side by side. Looks like Caress will clear for a quick second. But can he slide up the racetrack in front of that 2? The 2's going to fight back to the outside. And there he is, hard racing between these 2 up front. You got Cedric Hunter now up to the 3rd position. Also, it's about to be pretty crazy. And, also, it's the pit stops is where you're going to see these probably guys get split up a little bit. That's when you're going to see the spreaded out nature of this race. And you got to have friends. This is kind of like Daytona. You can't pit alone. It's now Cedric Hunter to the back bumper of the 2, pushing him down the straightaway. Looks like Caress going to be kind of out of line here, losing the last one.
Yeah, and that 91 looking really strong today, but also that 2 and 11, don't count them out. They're very strong here today, too, and they've been the best climbers. Brandon Colley 13 spots up from the starting position. The same thing with Cedric Hunter is 11 spots up from his starting position. So these 2 drivers love climbing up the field and getting passing people and getting up to that front. Is that 91? Looks like he burned up his stuff a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, and also being on that bottom lane definitely doesn't help. It's dropping him back for sure. See if he can clear Nicholas Mulvey here on the exit. I believe he will. He'll be able to slide up into that 4th position now and stop the bleeding. As the 2 and the 11, yeah, definitely looking strong. I gotta say, they've definitely, like, as the runs went on, their tires have just been a little bit better from what I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Caress right now is kind of just sticking with the group right now. Maybe trying to get up to the front again, but it looks like he's just trying to push others and stay up front with 2, 11, and 76.
Looks like that is the key, my friend. But we'll have to see how it all shakes out because pit stops can throw a monkey wrench in anything, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be interesting if anyone does a little short pit strategy. Is Colley and Cedric really like pitting together and like letting each other know what their strategies are over the radio. So it'll be interesting if any drivers pit around lap 60 or in their mid 60s. Is the pit window will start opening in the mid 60s, but maybe drivers will maybe pit this lap. Maybe they'll pit in a couple laps. Maybe they'll just run it dry and wait till they run out of fuel and then pit. So it'll be interesting to see what drivers do.
Yeah, I would think you want to at least stretch it to 65. So it'd be 35 to go. I don't. Usually Michigan, you're looking at somewhere in the 40s for fuel. So from here they should be technically able to make it here in the next 2 laps. But I believe you still want to have a little bit of, room to wiggle for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this group of around 7 or 8 cars right here, I think they're really just going to want to hit together and just keep the spots they want to, because track position in a track like this is very vital. And like it is, they get single filed out pretty quickly, and you want to be up front the best you can. So you'll definitely see them pit with each other, but it's how many people will pit with each other is the question.
That's the question, my friend. Is wow, look at that. Josh Jones making the move to the inside here, getting pushed by Braden Caress. Like I said, Hunter and Colley look really, really strong. Wow, the push that Caress was able to give at 76 was amazing. And Cedric Hunter started to the right, trying to miss something he thought was going to happen there. And that's going to drop him back almost all the way to 6th or 7th. That just shows you from 2nd almost to the 7th position in 1 corner. It's momentum.
And definitely, it shows that momentum is so strong at this track. Is now, Jones and Caress already up to 2nd and 3rd, just like that in 1 corner. And 3 wide behind him as everyone's really fighting for the spots they want. As Josh Jones and Caress now trying to go around this 2 car, and they're gonna make it work because that momentum is so strong as he's really pushing him in that corner, and now that 2 is gonna go way high and fall back.
Wow, and it just shows you. I really think that the we were talking about tires falling off and all this, but at the same time, I don't think tires are too much of an issue. I think really it's just positioning yourself in the right lane and getting that good push.
And definitely is that 2 still not giving up, as now he's going to take the spot from Caress, and he's going to probably try to file behind that 76. The 76 is now liking this in his mirror as they see side by side as he's going to try to pull away from these 2 trucks.
Side by side down the front straightaway, 2 getting pushed now. What was Caress? Oh man, Caress just made a up move there to go to, I think, the inside Josh Jones, but Brandon Colley was there. I'm sure the number 2 truck's probably not too happy about that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was looking down for a split second and I didn't see it, and it looks like that 2 truck went way down to the apron with the 91. Looks like it was a little racing incident. Thankfully that 2 truck won't be in too much trouble as he knows that the pit cycle is opening up sooner or later, and I think he's just gonna hear all those drivers up front pit and he's gonna pit with them so he won't lose too many spots.
Yeah, now he's going to be about 3 seconds back, but really I think the issue for him is major damage on that truck. He's going to probably have to take the fast fix if he wants to catch up in this race. And the other issue glaring for him is just not being able to pit with anybody, and now he's pretty much out of drafting range. He will probably be dropping back here for the next few laps.
Yeah, definitely. And that 1 truck of Todd Neese, a big climber right now, and with his father and son duo really pushing themselves to get to this front spot, is don't count them out. They're looking pretty strong today. Is that 1 truck only 1 spot down from his starting position, but it looks like he's been patient all day. Same thing with that 27 of David Neese. He got that pole, but
look at the run from the 72.
Yeah, that 72 got a huge one.
So he's gonna try to slide up in front, but cannot do it. Had to lift big time there. Yeah, and that's gonna lose him a lot of momentum. That just shows you Big Mo is your friend here tonight.
Big Mo indeed.
Can't lose the momentum. These things are just so tough to build that speed back up. And, you're gonna see now left will try to fall in line here behind Perez and see if he can get a big run again. He had such a big run going down that front straightaway. He drove all the way almost to the lead with that.
Yeah, definitely. And now that 11 truck and now in the lead, maybe, like I said, he's a dude who just loves patience, and he patiently climbed his way up through the thick and thin. Drivers taking each other out, or just maybe drivers not getting the best momentum as they want, as he's just slowly climbing his way up there. But like I said, he loves the word patience, and he's just a great driver to be around.
Yeah, and Josh Jones, though, going back to the bottom here, trying to clear Cedric Hunter at 11 as they come off a fork and Cedric throw the cross. Josh Jones kind of almost was staying in that middle lane just to not to let him get that run off. And that was smart. That checked Cedric up as he had to lift not to get in the back of that 76, while allowing that 91 get to the back bumper there on the outside, pushing the 11 back. And I got to tell you, Cedric Hunter's got a decent bit of damage on the nose there. So he definitely gets that fixed. It could be interesting for him too if you see how quick he could be with no nose damage.
Yeah, it definitely is. Lap 66, we're going to start seeing pit windows start opening up right around now. Look at that, the 91 and 11 side by side touching each other going into that corner. But yeah, pit windows are starting to open up sooner or later, and I don't know who's going to pit and when they're going to pit, but it'll be interesting as you see that 11 really just door banging that 91 truck going into this corner.
Yeah, they are touching. Oh, a little bit of neck coating between them.
Wow, a little loose. He door banged him going into that corner, not giving up a spot. Second chance. Now he's going to pull up on that 91.
Slides up right in front of the 91, taking that second position. Let's see Steven Lepper now fighting to the inside. You got Ty Neese there behind. See what happens as we go down to 3 or 4 here. Wow, this is a gaggle, guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. These drivers still not giving up a spot, even on the green flag stops are starting to open up. They're still driving like the green flag run just started, and yeah, it's fun to watch races like these as drivers just won't give up a spot no matter where they are, as you can see on board with, I believe, Braden Perez. Yeah, you see the line he likes to take and the draft he likes to do with the other drivers. So it's interesting to see all the different strategies thrown in the air. As that 18 truck looks like he's falling back big time, with big damage when he had that contact with that 14 truck today.
Yeah, he definitely has. And you know what's interesting? We're running 41 4s and 41 3s. You know, we kind of took off at like a 39.90. So that's really only about, you know, a second to a second and a half at most to fall off. So very little fall off.
Still big time lifting going in the corners rather than when you're just barely blipping off the throttle in the beginning of the run. And yeah, it definitely shows as more cars will have more fall off as their truck just won't turn. And you see some trucks just falling back more than the others, as Josh Jones kind of getting in a comfortable lead. Same thing with that 11 truck, as he might dip low and try to get around that 76 truck.
Great racing going on here so far. We're going to be coming here to lap 70, completing lap 70. This will be wild as we're going to be coming to 31 to go. Looks like Perez coming down pit road this time.
Yeah, and that's a bold move, going all by himself, as never mind, Brandon Colley pitted with him. And those two trucks maybe trying to see if they roll the dice and there'll be a two-pack car fighting for the lead at the end of the race.
Could very well possibly happen here as Brandon Colley hits pit road with Braden Caress. And see if Colley can recover from that issue there. I mean, if he can, that'll be a heck of a recovery here for that number 2 machine.
Yeah, definitely is. Now that he has a partner in crime with him, maybe, just maybe, that 91 and that 2 truck will pull away, since they'll have a draft together and that they'll pit before anyone else. So it'll be interesting to see if that 91 and that 2 truck will pull away from everybody else.
Yeah. It will be wild to see. I'm be interested to see when it looks like Hunter now. Yeah, Cedric Hunter now down the pit road. Josh Jones, looks like Stephen Leffler, Todd Neese, David Neese, Nicholas Lowey, all these guys coming down together. So that is a nice little pit stop here for these gentlemen.
Yeah, and if this race stays green, they'll have around 7 to 8 laps good to fuel if they stay in the draft, and everything else is around 39 laps of fuel. So they'll have around 10 laps of fuel good if they stay in the draft and they keep up with each other in this green flag run. Maybe we might see some drivers run out of fuel here, as you're going to see some drivers running by themselves and not in the draft, which makes them burn more fuel than if they were in the draft. So maybe drivers might run out of fuel in this long run.
Yeah, I think some guys made mistakes up here because Cedric Hunter was able to get a huge gap built on them. He on that later
second lead.
Came out even in front of Caress. That's the big thing there. And even Brandon Colley now, I think he should be pretty well off now because he's caught up to the back of that queue of Nicholas Lowby and David Neese. So that should help Colley possibly get back into this fight here in that 2 machine there running in the 9th position.
Yeah, and as you see now that he's all by himself, he's going to try to get the quickest line around the track as possible. As you see, he goes up at the top of the track, then goes down into that middle groove, and then comes back up and rides that wall to get the best speed in and out of the corner as possible. As the racing lines aren't just a straight line around the track and the lowest line possible. It's the most speed you can carry in and out. And it's different at every track. As you see, yeah, he really likes to ride that wall, as you see him really fighting to break that draft between that 72 truck of Leffler's. But yeah, racing lines are more curved when you want to hit the apex on the entrance and exit of corners.
Very key for sure. Now the question is, Cedric with this second lead over Leffler in Caress. Back to another second behind them is Todd Neese and Josh Jones. I don't see Cedric being able to hold these guys off for long, just due to the fact of the draft. They're going to be able to draft right up to him together in little packs of trucks. So I think this is all going to close up before the end of this race. If I'm Cedric, you need to save your stuff before these guys get to you. Yeah,
most definitely. And 2 laps ago, Cedric had a 1 and 8/10 second lead. Now it's already cut down to around 6.5 tenths. So as much as he wants to break that draft and not make him catch him, Caress is pushing that 72 truck of Leffler, and that's just not going to happen. You see Caress now come in front of Leffler on the outside. And yeah, like I said, that 91, a really good contender for this race. I think he has a shot at winning this, and I think he's the best odds at anyone else.
He's been a great pusher all night, being able to push guys forward and really been able to keep the ball rolling, as they would say.
Flies are on that outside of the 11. That draft is insane.
Such a big run, and see, that just shows you can get a big lead here, but it just all evaporates due to the fact of the draft.
Yep, and now that they know they have around 25, 26 laps left of racing, they're going to try to keep and save their stuff, see who is going to have the best battle at the end of tire wear and who's going to be better. But I think at such a draft-dependent track, they don't really need to fight for their tires too much. As you're going to see now packs of cars battling for the lead, and it's going to be an interesting finish as if this race stays green, as it looks like it's going to, as everyone's starting to even out. You're going to see packs of cars battling for the lead and battling for the draft.
Battling for that draft will be very key. Now you see Cedric Hunter to the back bumper of Crest going down the one. Looks like he's just going to elect to push him down here into one. As we got 25 laps to go here. Okay, who's going to be able to bring home this victory? It's going to be so close, guys. Josh Jones there, starting to look to the inside, Stephen Leffler.
Yeah, and now it's kind of looking like old style Daytona a couple years back is now tandem drafting between multiple cars. There's David Neese, Todd Neese a pack, and Stephen Leffler, Josh Jones a pack, and Braden Caress and Cedric Hunter a pack. So it's looking like a tandem drafting pack and a tandem drafting battle.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to have a friend, that's for sure. And look at David Neese and Todd Neese. You know they're going to be friends here at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that would be cool. Me and Robert said it once before. That'd be cool to push your dad to the lead, or your dad pushes your son to the lead. So it's yeah, that'd be some really cool story for them.
Like Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Just a dad and a son just love racing with each other in this awesome league, and it's awesome to see those two out there. Because, yeah, you see Braden Caress still holding on to that lead, but trying to keep that 11 behind him.
Trying to do the best he can here. Now Stephen Leffler under attack from Josh Jones. Looks like Josh Jones might clear off the exit. Yes, he will shut the door on that number 72 as they go down the back straightaway here towards turn 3. Cedric Hunter all over the back of Braden Caress, trying to do his best to get past that 91 as now Josh Jones into the picture. This is going to be a pretty tough battle.
Yeah, definitely. Now you see that 11 hop down and try to get around that 91. Way down in the apron, not trying to get that side draft for that 91. Maybe he's going to get that advantage in the corner, but that 76 is going to stay behind him.
Cedric's so close to clearing off a 2. Can't do it there. The 91's still there. Very tight racing between these two. Can he do it down to 3 and 4? See if he can fight back on that bottom. Don't think he will be able to. The outside lane just seems so tough to pass. You see it. Yeah, Cedric Hunter still fighting hard. Got Josh Jones coming up in the rearview mirror. That looks like he's going to give possibly a push to Cedric as he backs out and slides up to that high lane. Cedric see if he can send it down here in this bottom lane. He's going to run a little bit higher here. Slide down the racetrack. See if he can get a good enough run off the exit too. Just not able to get that run he needs.
Yeah, definitely. And you see Josh Jones now pushing that 11 in the corner, and it looks like that 11 would have got the better run off that 76 stay behind it, but now you see Leffler, Jones just on that outside line helping that 91 get that runoff as now he cuts off the nose a little bit of that 11 truck, trying to stay in front of him.
Well, it's a heck of a pack here right now. I feel for Brandon Colley there running that 8th position. He's kind of in no man's land there, 3.3 seconds back from the leader. He really has no help and doesn't look like he'll be able to catch this pack as they're starting to pull away from him now as the pack's all lined up.
And definitely, and I think that 11 truck, like he's always been at every other track, I think he's just being patient. I don't think he wants that lead right now. He knows there's still 20 more laps to go, 19 as of right as they cross the start finish line. But yeah, this 11 truck likes that word patience, and I think he's just pushing him right now, trying to pull away from everyone else and try to pass him towards the end of the race.
Well, we got 7 guys with a shot here, man. This is going to come down to some wild stuff as we're under 20 to go now. Who's going to put themselves in the right position? I think Steven Leffler is the man that's personally he's looking like in a good position. He's just lurking right now. I think he's just riding. He knows they ain't going nowhere. No reason to go up there and overheat your tires. He's saving it for a last ditch effort here.
Yeah, and I think that's 72. Yeah, and 76 are playing the same game as the 11. I think the 91 just loves staying up front, as he's very aggressive this race, and it looks like he's really good at this racetrack. So maybe Chris just really wants to get this one here. As 72, 76, and 11 are all liking to stay patient right now.
Staying patient out here on the racetrack. That's key here coming down to the end because, like I said, you're not going to get away. There's no reason to go out here and just completely waste your stuff and put yourself in a position where you can't pass.
Right, and that 11 is. He knows that you can't really pull away from anybody unless he burns up his tires too much, and maybe he's really just trying to push him into that corner and trying to make him burn up his stuff quicker than normal. And I know that 11 likes to just make people intimidate them and stay patient and burn up their stuff and go around them easily, and that's what makes that 11 truck so strong. But that 76 is also right behind that 11, and he's also very strong.
Very, very strong trucks we have here. It's any man's game right now, man. You got this top 7 within 1 second here, coming to 16 to go. Right now, I think it's everybody's in just a holding pattern. They're saying, you know what? There's no reason to get too racy. No reason. It's going to come down to those last 5 laps is when you're about to really make those moves. So I'm excited to see when that stuff starts happening. But I tell you what, it's going to be tough to hold off people once you get to the lead, too.
And we only have 16 to go. As of right now, it looks like this race is going to stay green. No caution, unless Zach says the word that there's going to be a caution coming up. But, yeah, I think Cedric right now just knows there's still a little bit more time to stay patient. And the 91 maybe looks like he's pushing a little bit too hard, and that 11 just trying to stay behind it.
Trying to do his best job to work his way to the front. It's going to be tough here. 15 to go. You know, Hunter, I don't want to say there's going to be a caution, but I really would not doubt it.
Oh, well, now we know there's going to be a caution. But, yeah, and I think that... but, yeah, that 91, I think right now he's betting on, well, I'm going to stay up front, and I'm going to wait for a very late race caution. I'm going to go get my tires, and I'm just going to pull away from everyone else since I can push it as hard as I can. And I think that 11 is... as that 11 is really trying to stay behind that 91. As I got Robert singing a Christmas song in my ear, but... and, yeah, I think that 11 is going to be really, really strong on older tires.
He's not allowed to start singing right now. That's not fair. I told him till Thanksgiving's over, no Christmas song.
Oh, man, I already got a Christmas tree in my house, so I don't think that's going to be the same thing for... I don't think I could agree with you there on that.
We're going to put Robert in timeout.
If only y'all could hear this. You would
Robert.
think we're going insane, but we have dudes singing Christmas songs in our ear while we're trying to watch a race.
These guys are going to have a Christmas present as well. Caress made that pretty close there with the 6 of Robert Cheswick.
Yeah, and only 13 to go. Doesn't look like there's going to be a caution yet, but like Zach said, I don't doubt it. And that 11 now pulling away from that 76 and that 91. As now he's going to look on the inside. Now he's going to get a run, but that 76 is going to stay behind that 91. But wow, that 11 looks powerful right now. And like I said, he saved his stuff. He stayed patient. And now he's going to try to pull away from that 91 truck.
I don't think he's gonna be able to pull away, but man, what a power move that was. That just shows what he can do here late in this going. It's 12 to go now. Cedric Hunter now to the point with Braden Crest in that second position. Josh Jones fourth. Stephen Leffler, or Josh Jones the third. Stephen Leffler in fourth, and Todd Neese in the fifth position, followed by Father David Neese with Nick on the back of this 7-car break. You know, as a driver, you know, this is a great viewing experience, but I ain't gonna lie, for a driver, this has got to be frustrating to where you can't just get away. You know, it doesn't matter if you're quicker, it doesn't matter if you're slower. You're going to be with somebody pretty much this whole entire race. Makes it exciting. It makes it mentally challenging, but I tell you what, it could be also very frustrating. So I'm sure there's some frustration building for a few of these drivers. Now Cedric's doing a good job though of keeping the gap. He's not really had too much of an attack from Caress, and Josh Jones hadn't been right on the back bumper of Caress. I think everybody's waiting until the very end here, as we're gonna be coming here to 10 to go here, 10 freaky laps for a freaky win here on Freaky Fast Broadcast. All right, my producer's making fun of me now. He's Robert's in the background saying, well, it's a win. As we go down the back straight here, man, I'll tell you what, it's looking like it's going to come down to these top 5 guys. It's David Neese and Nicholas will be a little bit of gap there, so not directly on that back bumper of each other. But Josh Jones starting to push a little bit harder now as we're coming at 9 to go. He's to the back bumper of Caress. See what type of Caress can get here as they go down the front straight. Cedric Hunter will block to the inside. Cannot open that outside up though. He's going to pull back up the racetrack. Here goes Caress to the inside. See if he can make this pass work in the 91.
Yeah, it's just interesting 9 laps we're going to see here. Is I honestly think this 72 stayed behind all of them and saved all his stuff too. Same thing with that one truck is now they came out of nowhere, and I think that 72 is going to be a really strong factor too, as it looks like that 91 and 76 have burned up their stuff a little bit more than that 11 and 72. So I think that 72 and 11 are going to be the final factors at the end of this race.
And 11 able to clear there to the 91. See if he pulls back up, pulls Josh Jones with him. He's kind of pulling the lanes right now. This is what you do. You know, you pull down. You got one lane coming forward. Now you're going to pull back up, pull that outside lane so these guys can race side by side down here into turn 1. This hard race between Josh Jones and Caress off of 2. Where does Cedric go? He looks like he's pulling the bottom lane with him right now. Does he pull back up at some point? Yes, he will.
And it looks like that 11 truck likes to have that lead, but he likes to swerve down. Like you said, he kind of blocked that inside a little bit, but I think it's more to break the draft from the other drivers and keep his speed a little bit different from the 76 and him, as he wants to. Yeah, as you see him swerve down now, and that 76 is going to follow him, trying to catch that draft as much as he can to catch him up. As you're going to see that huge run is going to get on.
And with 7 to go, this is going to be wild. It's going to be can't leave the outside open though. I know he was trying to break the draft, but he cannot leave that outside open. And if you leave that outside open, I think you're a sitting duck. Because look, Todd Neese now trying to make a move on the 72 as we got 7 to go here. And while we're under 7 to go, we should give a shout out to our sponsors here at the Sim Racing Unleashed and Freaky Fast. Here is Sim Race Unleashed. Their beautiful sponsor of American Hero Hunt is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that gets veterans and first responders into the outdoors, free hunting, fishing, and camping adventures that are therapeutic, educational, and rewarding. All to give back to the heroes that have sacrificed so much for our great nation. Find hunt entries and more information on American Hero Hunt at facebook.com American Hero Hunt. So shout out to the American Hero Hunt, great organization there for the veterans and first responders of this great nation. Now we'll head off to Budget Sim Boxes here, the primary sponsor of the truck series here. We got 6 to go. If you're a sim racer on a budget looking for a budget sim or a budget box, then Budget Sim Boxes is your source. With several different sizes and functionality options, Budget Sim Boxes will have the button box that fits your price range without breaking the bank. Budget Sim Boxes is your source of high quality button boxes at an affordable price. Find them on Facebook by searching Budget Sim Boxes or look for them in the Facebook iRacing flea market. And that is Budget Sim Boxes here, your primary sponsor of the truck series. And now 5 to go. We got a battle going into turn 1 with Cedric Hunter and Josh Jones. Now Josh Jones going to the inside. Can he make it work? I don't think he will, as Cedric Hunter's going to pull high here on the exit. That's going to let Caress now get to the outside of the 76 here. Where does Steven Leffler go? Can he get up into the outside line in front of Josh Jones? Is Caress now to the back bumper of Cedric as we're going to 4 to go this time. It's going to be a wild 4 laps here at the Michigan International Speedway.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, that 11 truck really can't pull away in the draft. He's kind of trying to play that blocking game as he's now got a little bit of distance between that 91 and 76, but that 76 is going to give him a big push. And I think that 11 truck is going to just try to play a blocking game as he's got a really strong truck tonight, and I think he can pull away from the pack. Oh, sorry, not pull away. Block people. Not pull away from the pack and block away. There you go.
As we go down the back straightaway, they're all bunched up. Here goes Steven Leffler looking to the inside in that 72 as they'll be coming to 3 to go. Where does Caress go? He's got a pretty good run here coming off of 4. Cedric Hunter needs to slide up and cover off that outside lane. And here it is, coming to 3 to go. Caress to the back bumper of that 11.
He's shoving that 11. Wow.
Yeah. As they go down to turn 1, Hunter still in the lead. Cannot let them get to the outside lane. They go down through 1 and 2. Off of 2, Cedric Hunter, nice little gap here. Can Caress close it in as they go down the back straightaway?
I think that 11 truck saved his tires just a little bit better than that 91. I think he's going to pull away. That draft is just hoping that 91 stick with him, but you see in the corners he gets such more distance than that 91. I think this 11 truck's got this one in the books unless something big happens.
With 2 to go, here goes Cedric trying to break the draft. He pulls to the bottom lane. Now Caress getting that good toe here as they go towards the corner. Cedric's got to pull up, cover off that outside lane. But where does Caress make his move? With 2 laps to go, it's going to have to be a big one because Cedric Hunter doing his best to hold off this field here at Michigan. Going to be wild all the way down to the end here with Josh Jones not too far behind and Steven Leffler as the top 4 have broken away coming down the back straightaway for the second to last time here tonight.
Yeah, and you see on that onboard cam with that 11 truck, he was really trying to just break that toe in that front stretch, but it's not going to happen. As here we come to the white flag. I don't know. I think this 11 truck is still just too strong. As now you see him go way down to the apron to break that draft, but that 91's still with him, and that 76 pushing him too.
Yes, sir. White flag in the air. Cedric Hunter needs to do is 1 more lap here. Got to get a good run off of 2. I tell you what, Caress is going to be pretty close, but the problem here is Josh Jones going to be to the inside. That's going to help Cedric Hunter. He pulls to the bottom lane. Smart move there to pull that 76 up to let these guys race side by side down the back straightaway. Pulls back high. I think Cedric Hunter's got it as they go down to 3 and 2. But here comes the 72 and the 76 side by side with Brain Caress off of 4. Cedric Hunter is going to be your winner, but who's going to come home in the second position? Here comes the 72 to the bottom lane, 3 wide for the third and second position as we have the checkered flag. Cedric Hunter is your winner, Brain Caress second, and Josh Jones bringing it home in that third position. What a final run down to the end. Congrats to Cedric Hunter, and what a race.
Wow, 3 wide finish for second at the end there. That was incredible.
That it was, man. That was fun to see. Josh Jones and Steven Leffler did their best to try to get by there. But I tell you what, Cedric Hunter played that perfectly. You know, he saw the 76 have the run. He pulled down to pull that 76 to the inside of that 91. That gave the 91 no chance to get to him. And that's how you race this place, man.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, patience is just such a factor at a super speedway like this. And he played it perfectly. He rolled the dice, and he did not get snake eyes. He did it perfectly, and like I said, that 11 truck looked really strong tonight, and it shows as now he does his burnout for that win.
Great finish there as we are burning them down here at the Michigan International Speedway. We will get our top finishers in the booth, and we will have a break for 1 moment, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Michigan International Speedway with the Sim Racing Unleashed Truck Series, and we got our third place finisher here at Josh Jones in that 76, doing his best to try to get second there. It was 3 wide between him, the 72 and the 91 there, coming down to the very end. Man, what a battle it was. But let's get a talk in here with our third place finisher of Josh Jones. Hey, Josh, is Zach up in the booth, man? You got a copy?
Hey, yes, sir, I do.
Hey, Josh, well, man, what a race tonight between you guys up front in that field up there, man. I tell you what, just seemed like with this draft package and these trucks, nobody could get away from each other. It was just really tough to pass, and very wild racing, though, down to the very end there. How was it from the truck's vantage point?
Man, it was freaking awesome. It was fun racing these guys tonight. There's a couple little hiccups, but we'll get through it. It was really fun battling. Yeah, as long as you had the draft, you're in it. You just had to save your tire for the end so you can get around somebody.
Yeah, and we've seen that all night. Just the draft was such a big factor. Guys going back for pulling which lane they could, coming down to the end. It just seemed like all night too. Actually, the bottom lane was just so tough to pass. If you stay up in the outside lane and stay with that leader's draft where they were up high, it was really the key. Was that the case there? Just really tough to pass on that really bottom lane.
Yeah, if you was all by yourself, you had to have some help. Somebody pushing you or pulling you, vice versa. You can do a couple different things to play some games to get around some people, but it was fun either way. I liked racing with them guys.
Yeah, it definitely was fun for us to watch up there. It was very close coming down to the end there. You Caress and Leffler coming off the corner 3 wide there for that second and third positions, as the 11 was able to take on the victory, man. But congrats on that third place finish. It was very fun for us to watch up there. Anybody wants to send a shout out to before we let you go, Josh?
Of course, you guys for broadcasting and all the league members coming out and racing with us. We really appreciate it. And American Hero.
Well, thank you very much, Josh, and we will catch you next time, man.
Yep, thank you guys.
Yep. All right, that was Josh Jones, your third place finisher here tonight in that 76. Great run for him. As he said, very, very fun out there. But now we're going to move on to our victory lane celebration here with Cedric Hunter. And Hunter Hayward is going to do the honors of giving us the Hunter show and seeing how Cedric's thoughts went. Here is your race winner, Cedric Hunter.
Hey, Cedric Hunter up here in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
Well, the Hunter and Hunter show reunites. How about that? But man, fantastic race you had today. You weren't up front a lot. You weren't in the lead a lot, but you stayed patient all race, and you really liked rocking it up front and pushing that 91 and getting them out of the way at the end. Tell me how your strategy was this whole race.
It was pretty much a plate race, honestly. It's, Michigan and the trucks. So the trucks are honestly kind of plate race almost everywhere you go. Just Michigan just, basically turned it into a Daytona kind of race. The reason I was pushing the 93 there, it's because honestly I was kind of frustrated with something that happened there mid-race where you kind of got into the side of me, and so I wasn't trying to wreck him, but I was just trying to just make him abuse his stuff, kind of trying to send him into the corner way faster than he wanted to, just lap after lap, and I mean, it paid off. He didn't have anything for me there at the end. It's actually super interesting. The last run, well, at least when I got the lead, kind of like a super speedway, I felt like I was looking in the mirror like 90% of the time. So it's it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, 2 weeks in a row, you didn't really like staying in that lead and blocking people. You like to stay more patient and wait until they burn their stuff up, and you just waited to get around them because you knew you're faster than them. So tell me what was going through your head in those last about 10 laps.
I was really hoping that I know that Josh ended up kind of saving his stuff, like he was in line the whole time, same as Leffler, and I honestly thought that they might have something on me. I thought they were taking it easy. I just know that the lane to defend on is the top lane. It's so hard to pass people on the inside, and so kind of the whole train of thought, like every single lap was all right, like protect the outside, try and break the draft as much as possible, you saw them take a few lunges there and going to the corner a couple times. thankfully I was able to hold them off, and then every time they'd get side by side in the back or behind me is just to try and hopefully tow the guy on the bottom to keep them side by side as long as possible. It's pretty much when I saw them go side by side, I think it was coming to the white, I knew that it was locked up. As soon as they went side by side, I was like, all right, this is like, I just won the race. That's awesome. But yeah, it's not gonna lie, like this kind of racing and the trucks and everything is not that fun. It kind of takes the skill away from it. But I mean, I'm glad I was able to kind of redeem myself from last week's, dominated the race and didn't win. So
Yeah, I know how you feel. Domination, you still can't get the win, but yeah, I know it was a good redemption there, and you raced a really good race today, and yeah, anybody you want to give a shout out to before you pack your things up and get ready for Sunday?
absolutely, I want to shout you guys out. I know you guys put on a really good broadcast. I see Hunter, you've been in the booth a lot more lately. So far, going back to watch all the stuff you're doing a really good job. Keep it up. I want to give a shout out to all the league drivers, league admins, owners, everyone involved, just for allowing me to come here and do my thing and allowing me to race every single week. And I want to shout out all the fans out there that support not only Freaky Fast, but that also support myself and WSSR on Saturdays.
Oh yes, sir. That was a great win, great race win a great race win we witnessed today. Sorry about that. And that was a great race that we watched. Go party up. And that was a great win.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
All right, that was your race winner there, Cedric Hunter, the 11 machine, bringing it home for the back-to-back weeks, I believe, as he won there in New Hampshire last week. So congrats to him on 2 back-to-back Truck Series wins here in the Budget Sim Boxes Truck Series at Sim Racing Unleashed. And we will head to our race results here as you see them up here now. Cedric Hunter able to bring home that victory, followed by Braden Crest in that 91. Third place will go home to Josh Jones. Fourth will be Steven Leffler in that 72 machine. Fifth is going to go to Todd Neese. Sixth, David Neese. Seventh is going to go to Nicholas Lolby. Eighth is James Small. Ninth, Brandon Colley. 10th is Gomez. 11th, Robbie Darnell. 12th is Robert Cheswick. 13th, Josh Langolis. 14th, Jason Adams. And 15th, rounding out your field here tonight, is Brad Delph, as that is your race results here for the Budget Sim Boxes Truck Series here at Sim Racing Unleashed. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a wonderful night. Hunter, what is your overall thoughts on what we've seen here?
Yeah, well, that was a great race we watched and commentated. Kind of like the race winner mentioned, it was more like a Daytona-style fest out there. And, yeah, they couldn't really get any away from anybody. You couldn't really you had to push people to get up to the front. But, I mean, still, overall, that was a great race. What were your thoughts on that race, Zach?
Oh, man, it was very, very fun to watch. Definitely tough to get away, so we never really had a chance even for someone to even get away. So it was definitely always up in the air who was going to win. Congrats to all the drivers out there. It was very fun to watch, as it was really a 7-car breakaway there at the end. Everybody pretty much had a shot there. So really cool to see. But I tell you what, it was fun here tonight. And now we'll throw it up to the boss man himself, Robert Warner Jr., as we close out tonight's broadcast here on Freaky Fast.
All right. Well, Freaky Fast, I'd like to say thank you to everybody out there for tuning in here tonight. Hopefully everybody has a great Thursday, have a great Friday, and have a great weekend. We will be back live again here with SRU on Sunday night. So hopefully everybody gets to tune in at 7:50 Eastern, and we do appreciate it. So until then, we'd like to say God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
See you, everybody.